to investigate, but what happens between then and the announcement of the outcome of the case? ABC4's Brittany Johnson takes a closer look into the process and procedures. She joins us now live in studio with that story. Brittany.
That's right, Glenn. While we await the ruling in this high-profile case, the fatal police shooting of Bernardo Carbajal in Salt Lake City, we've been taking a closer look into officer-involved incidents in the state. Now, last night, we talked about Utah's law and what it says about an officer's use of lethal force. So tonight, we're taking a closer look into what it takes to prosecute these incidents. It comes across your TV screen at night. Crime scene tape, flashing lights, investigators scrambling. But what happens when the tape comes down and law enforcement leaves the scene? If the event was an officer-involved critical incident, an outside agency is called in to investigate. In Salt Lake County, the district attorney sends in an investigator for support. When their investigation is complete, everything is sent over to the district attorney, Sim Gill.
We just don't take their words. We start going through it. And then we sometimes will identify that this is missing or that's missing, and we gather that information and then go through our analysis. And then we go through a two-step analysis.
Utah's law permits an officer to use lethal force in certain circumstances.
And it keeps you from being prosecuted because the law says you can use it legally.
The district attorney says his job is to apply the state law to his team's two-step analysis.
We go through the first analysis to see, does it fit in that? And if it fits in that, we rule it to be justified. And then if it doesn't fit into that, we'll say it's unjustified. And then we do a secondary analysis to see if it's not justified, is it chargeable? And at that point, we look to see what is the evidence that we have, what is our burden of proof that we have to go through, and what can we marshal out as an evidence, and then we would file charges on that.
When it comes to filing charges, here's what is looked at in Salt Lake County.
Is there a law that's been violated? Do we have the quantity and quality of evidence that establishes that this person did it? And is it admissible? And there's a reasonable likelihood of success at trial.
Gill says the process can be long, detailed, and arduous, but adds the analytical process is needed to be objective and transparent.
We've taken this other additional responsibility on because we know it's of value to our community.
Gill has mentioned before he can only do what the law allows him to do. Your story mentioning Utah's law allowing officers use of force in certain circumstances. So what should people do if they want to push for change?
Well, Glenn, you know the hate crimes bill that passed. I know you're very familiar with that. Sim Gill said he and other lawmakers fought for 20 years for that legislation to be changed. Now, I bring that up tonight to say this: change does not come overnight. So in addition to protests, Sim Gill says people need to get out and vote, get to community council meetings, and during the legislative session, make your way to the Capitol and voice your opposition or support to laws that state representatives are proposing.
All right, very good advice there. Thanks so much, Brittany. Appreciate it.